Wojnarski, we're back again with a welding fabrication video of a continuation of our what do you call them, wrench build thing, whatever you want to call them. But now we're in the process of making the wrenches. I did this yesterday. I cut 3 inches off and put the other smaller tubing on, so you'll see that too. I made those things the other day. These things, so interchangeable or whatever. So watch the previous videos if you want to know a little bit more, but we're just basically making 10 sets of these wrenches, and 10 one size, 10 the other size, and interchanging in and out of each other. So I tacked a few up already, and I just want to show you little benefits of the fixture table of how we're doing it. So gotta weld this to this. And I got this little thing right there, so I can't set it flat on the table. So I'll just show you my little fixturing setup. So I already marked everything out. So I centered up. I want the piece to go in the center like this. We'll go like that. I want it to go in the center. So I found my center, and then I went off. Went a ½ inch off and a ½ inch off from that side. Give me 1 inch, because that's 1 inch tubing. So we're good like that. So what I did with the fixture table was I got my pins set up like this. So I found a straight line going like this, put 1 pin there, 1 pin there, and I could have put this piece in like that, but being that I don't got a hole right there, it gives it a little less or a little more room to wiggle. So I'm just going to put a little flat bar right there, help hold it a little bit stronger, a little less wobble. Put my piece on, make sure it goes like that, kind of suck it back up like that. Now got my piece like this, make sure it's going the right way with the holes. I want the holes to be going that way, just like those are. So take this piece, I got my pins set up like this too, and I could put that up a little right there, but it'll get in my way of tacking. So I put them like that, butt it up like that, clamp it down. It's going to be a little hard with the phone in my hand, so I might have to put you on a tripod, but put it up like that, clamp it down this way, that way at the same time, clamp it down, and then after that I can move this, make sure it's pretty close before you do that, push it that way, clamp that down. So do like that, then like this. And we are right in between our lines. We're within like a 64th, so that's pretty good. It could come this way just a hair. So that's pretty good. And we're pretty good right there. You can also check it with the square afterwards. These pins aren't super accurate because they're homemade pins. And they got a little bit of wobble. I think if you had the square pins, they'd be a little bit better. But for what this is, we're square with a 6-inch square. And we could be off an 1/8 inch with this, but I think we should be within a 32nd of an inch. So we're pretty good with that. And on to the next, I could tack it onto the next thing. So get ready to tack it. After I tack it, should look like that. And after our final product, after I weld them, I'll tack them all first, then I'll weld them all. And our final product will be these pieces. There's 2 of each sizes. One big, one small, and they fit on top of these if you haven't followed along. They basically need 1 wrench for each size, so this one fits on the big one, and this one fits on the small one, and the small one will fit on the big one, so hence having 2 sets. So the plan is to have this going like this. I drilled my holes already, and go like that. And then the other one will go right in here like this, like that. Now I was debating whether if I wanted to put the holes that way or on the top, like which way would be less in your way. So just settled on the side. Maybe you won't grab it as much, I don't know. So here it didn't really matter. So just went on the side. But now the predicament was how to hold this in. Would you hold it in with a cotter pin? You don't want a nut and a bolt because that's too much work to interchange everything, unless they're going to be, you can actually honestly use this wrench all in one piece and not even have to turn anything. But I think their plan was having a little more depth this way, which that way didn't have a little depth, and they wanted it like that to fit in their truck. So that's just how they wanted it. So I kind of went off of what they had. This flat bar right there goes, some of these pieces have a slit in it and they got to open it with a slit, I guess, put that in and crank it loose or whatever. So that's what that flat bar was. So that go like that. So anyway, this is a little slop in there, but that was like the best size tubing we could find to fit interchange with it. But once it locks up, it's perfectly fine. So our predicament was a nut and a bolt, a cotter pin, like a little pin and like a cotter pin or something, or a pin with like a little ball on the end or whatever. But they might lose that, so I thought about these things the other day, and they don't sell them at the stores. I had to order these online, but the problem was everything's in metric, so you had to do a little conversion and figure out what sizes you wanted. So these were actually pretty cheap. They were like 16 pieces for like $8 or something like that, but I needed 20 pieces, so figures I had to buy another set. So now I'm stuck with 6 pieces, so I got an extra 16. But anyway, those go in here like that, and should be good. Sorry about that, I had to do something. Where did I put that piece? But it just goes right in like that, slips in. Now, just squeeze that in like that, and voila, pretty good. I like it. And then the other piece will go like that, and should be pretty good for them. And then if they ever want to take it out, you just comes right out, and they don't got to worry about losing a pin or anything. So pretty handy. Right. So I'll just double check it with my square and see how square we got. Pretty good. I don't know how accurate this square is, but we got like not even a 64th in there. We're pretty good. You can see just a slight little line, but I don't even think that's like a 64th, so I'd say it came out pretty good. Even if we were within like a 1/16 of an inch, we'd still be plenty fine, but shoot for perfect and you'll get acceptable. So on to the welding now. So I'm going to move all the pins out of my way, and then I'll just have it clamped down probably when I'm welding it. That way it doesn't warp a little, and we should be pretty good. So here's our little pin setup. We made these on the lathe, but you could buy them for probably cheaper to buy them actually. Got like a good little variety. And we've got my flat bar. I think I said that in a previous video. I like to keep like odds and end flat bars and tubings and stuff over there. Little variety of stuff to use for stuff like that. So I'll clamp it down and I'll start welding it. I just gotta hang this off the table, unless I shimmed it up a little higher, but so I gotta do it like that, then I could probably flip it and clamp it like that. And then the sides, I guess I'll just not clamp it down. I'll just stand it up and do the sides really fast. So, that'll be my way of doing it. So we'll go over, I mean, if you watched this already, you've seen the settings already, but I'm just basically Everlast 325 EXT, 200 amps, just standard high frequency TIG, nothing really special. End amps 5, post flow 15 seconds. I really don't need that high, but like 10 seconds is fine. Pre-flow 0.2 seconds, pre-flow, a little bit of pre-flow helps with arc starts. Start amps 15 is fine. Upslope, none. 200 amps. I probably don't need that much. I mean, I'm going thick to thin, 1/8 inch to 14 gauge, but I just like to weld hot. And I like to have that extra foot pedal, even though it probably only take like 150 amps. But we'll see. If I need to lower it, I'll lower it. So, on to welding. Now, I'm not going to weld all of them for you. I'll weld like maybe 3 and we'll call it a day. So I don't want to drag you out, make the video too long for you. So I might do 3 30-second tungsten on the sides just because I got a little gap right there, kind of. And I might do 16th on the insides, so we'll see. So I'll just let that cool down, and then after it cools down, I'll weld all 3, and then I'll come back and I'll do the inside pieces. That way there's not just too much heat going into it. So that's our finished product. One would go in like that. And I didn't put the other pieces in the thicker one, but the thicker one will go like that. And there's your product. Not too shabby. So that's what they wanted. Subscribe to my YouTube if you want. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I always forget to mention that in the beginning of the video, so the people don't tune out or whatever. Or the people that tuned out early, they won't see this. So feel free to subscribe if you want. Chris Wojnarski, over and out. Give you a final overview of all my stuff. These little wrenches for the Water Township, whatever. Just go in like that. Well, my new one does. My new one will go over the small one, and then that one will go over that one. And they got little button things so you can pull them right out and swap them around. Good to go. Flat bar is for some of them have a slit in it. Can loosen it or tighten it. And pretty cool. They just need a can of coat of paint, which they'll do. But not too bad. Welds aren't the greatest, but not the worst. Definitely will hold up. A lot better than what theirs were. So they'll be happy. Had 10 of them to do. 10 sets of each, and it took about 1 hour. It took 11 hours for all of them, give or take a little bit. I mean, I stopped. It wasn't consistent 11 hours. It was off on, so I got out of rhythm a little bit, but that equals about a little over an hour each. Hour, 5-10 minutes each, so not bad, I don't think. So there you go. Little project. Scratch off the list. On to the next one. Chris Wojnarski, over and out.